Welcome to Sports Talk with AVIOT, featuring Tay and Jay Stokes. We hope you all enjoy the show.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It is Tay and Jay Stokes back again with this. Oh, shoot, I didn't turn on my light in the background. I have to look bright. Sorry, we're recording on camera, and I eventually want to put these out as videos, but my light wasn't on, so I would just look a little bland in the back. But we're back with another episode. This is a record, Tay. This is legit a record. We're legit now. Why?
We recorded last week or earlier this week?
Yeah, we've had like 3 weeks in a row of us putting out episodes.
I know. The big game is on Sunday, though, so you know that's the big. I'm not talking about it.
Well, let's get into tip-off. Outside of the game, how have you been calming your nerves, considering everything that's been going on in this country? Because you can't escape it. The news cycle is going around all the time, and I know the Super Bowl is going to be a nice, well, you would hope, is going to be a nice getaway. But what is your thought process? Are we doom and gloom, or is there hope for the future?
I'm not doom or gloom or hope. I just scroll on my little TikToks. I pay attention to the news. I know what's going on. And that's it. Like, I am informed briefly, like barely. Like, I know the news.
Yes.
And I move on from the news. I'm not dwelling on the news. Because I'm what's the purpose? We're going to dwell on the news every day for 4 years? We can't do that. We're going to go crazy.
That's
you
true.
just have to be informed, know what's going on. When something big happens, then I pay attention. Like, I really read. Then that's when I open the phone and read. But if it's not big, I mean, everything is big, but if everything's big, then nothing is big.
That's true. It's like every day it's a new outrage. Every day someone's saying, oh, how could they do this? How could this administration do this? And I know y'all, it's a sports show, so we don't tend to go into politics, but it's going to intersect at some point. Politics and sports have always intersected, to be honest. Just being a Black person in sports, that's political.
Right.
So I just had a debrief. I just never heard your thoughts about it. And I just think that... Oh, go ahead. Say it, please.
No, I'm just saying, I just stay informed and I keep pushing. Nothing is surprising to me. This was all already laid out.
I was asking our cousin, Jay Random, y'all, who I'm with on the other AVIOT, the actual AVIOT podcast, not the sports section. I was asking him, what is law? Is there such thing as law? Because it seems like there isn't.
Here's the thing. None of this is surprising to me. He said he was going to do it, so he did it. I don't know why everybody's shocked. I don't know why there's so much shock and awe. The man literally said he was going to do these things, and now he's doing it. Like, he told you, y'all didn't listen.
Right.
So there are laws in place. Things are going to get stopped. Things are going to be sued. And then, like, the real problem will be when things go through Congress. That's when we have an issue, because then it becomes the law of the land. Executive orders, yeah, they have impact, but at the end of the day, he can be sued and then they can be stopped.
They can reverse the executive orders?
Not reverse, but they can pause them. Like, when you think about birthright citizenship, he's trying to take away birthright citizenship. But
you can't do that. That's in the Constitution.
On pause indefinitely because it's not legal.
Right.
There are a lot of things that just won't be legal that will be put on pause. So we'll see. I mean, it's bad. It's all bad, but he said he was going to do it. So I think for everyone to be so outraged, it's like, y'all shouldn't have voted for him, man.
This is very true. Yeah, it's unfortunate. But into some more light topics, let's get into pass interference. So I don't know if you've been watching I'll be honest with you, I have not really been paying attention much to, they call it the MNBA now. You ever heard that, the MNBA? I think some people have been doing it online, mostly women's basketball fans, in order to get under guys' skin, but also to be like, well, you call it the WNBA, so why can't we call it the MNBA? And I understand that the NBA came first and the WNBA is to show a change, but I think it's kind of funny. I think it's kind of fun. So I've been kind of using it. I know it's a mouthful sometimes to say MNBA, but in my videos, I've been,
The tongue twister.
It is a tongue twister, but I did a video recently where I was talking about the Luka Anthony Davis trade, and I said MNBA, and no one said anything about it. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. But I have been watching a lot of women's college basketball. It's just more entertaining to me. I don't know why. Maybe because, well, I have a theory as to why. I think number one, I'm connecting more with the stories because you know these people, you've seen them play for a longer period of time, and there's more of a connection there.
Right.
And then also, I think too, in college, it's a larger pool, but when they get to the WNBA, it's a smaller circle. So I feel that these players are just more accessible because you have players like Flage having her own podcast. You have Tahina Pow and all of them making TikToks. And I just feel that you can kind of touch, not literally, but you can kind of touch these players, and they're more, like I said, accessible. They can be in your home. You feel like they're your friends. You feel like you kind of know them to a certain extent. Whereas a lot of the male basketball players in college or even in the MNBA, it just seems like they're distant, or their personalities is just not as attractive. What are your thoughts about that?
I think it's like a different type of game. I think that like when I watch women versus men play basketball, I feel like not that men don't play for the love of basketball, but I feel like the goal of them playing is to make the NBA, right? The goal of the statue, the trophy, we made it to the NBA. But I feel like a lot of times when you're watching the women play, they're playing strictly for the love of the game, not for the stats, not for the accolades, not to make it to next step sometimes, but just because they love playing basketball and they want to win. They don't necessarily want the like, I need to have this trophy, I need to go to the NBA. So like I get what you're saying. Like when you watch men, especially in college, when you watch the men play, they're a little more stoic. They're a little more like, I don't know. I don't like watching the men play personally.
It's not as fun in college anymore. Yeah, because they're gonna leave after a year if they're good enough.
If they're good enough, and then they go to the NBA and they just twirl around, not that they actually twirl, but that's what I think of them. They go and they twirl around unless they're like the breakout star.
Right.
And they go away. Whereas I feel like the women are really invested in like the actual game of basketball itself. Like they're invested in the sport more.
Right. Yeah, I definitely get you. And it is what it is. And I think that once the legends in the MNBA go away, I think we're looking at something that's not going to be as entertaining anymore. We kind of see it now. We see the viewership now with the MNBA going down. Everyone's taking threes. The referees are out of control. Well, that's in both leagues, to be honest. But the referees, it seems like in the MNBA, they give you a tech for sneezing. And it's just not as enjoyable anymore. I found myself watching a game between the Warriors and the Phoenix Suns, and I wasn't feeling it. And I know you had Kevin Durant versus Steph Curry and all that. I just wasn't feeling it anymore. I feel that when the old guard, LeBron, Durant, Curry, they go away, it's like, it's not fun. Who wants to see it? We don't have any breakout stars who are the best, who are masters of their craft. We have foreign players, but the foreign players, they don't hit the same. It's no knock to the foreign players. It's just y'all personalities, they just don't hit.
Well, that's because they want to go home. Isn't that what Djokovic said? Joker, he was like, I just want to go home to my horses. Like, that's what they want to do.
Right. So speaking of the MNBA, I know you saw the trade between Dallas and LA. I think that the Utah Jazz were involved in there as a three-way trade. But basically the big news out of it was Luka Doncic went to the Lakers and Anthony Davis went to the Dallas Mavericks. Do you have any thoughts about that? Does Luka look crazy in a Lakers jersey? What do you think?
I think it's crazy they traded Luka. But I think what I learned more that was crazy from that trade was that Mark Cuban doesn't own the Dallas Mavericks anymore.
You didn't know he didn't own majority share? Yeah, he sold the majority.
I think a lot of us found that out during the trade because everyone said,
Really?
what's Cuban doing? And then they were like, Mark Cuban doesn't own the team. I think it's crazy. I also think it's crazy how nobody knew, not even the players. That's also the second craziest part. I was watching a TikTok where AD was in a I guess post game. I don't know. He was in the locker room chatting, and they were like, okay, so how do you feel like your legacy as a Laker has been? He goes, why are you saying that? Like, I'm leaving. And they go, check your phone. Like, he didn't know that he was being traded. That
Yeah,
is crazy to me. They didn't request a trade. Dallas traded away their big star.
Yeah.
I don't know. But the word on the street is the owners want a casino in Dallas, allegedly. And so they traded away Luka basically to force the hand of the Texas legislature to give them a casino.
What? No, I don't know about all that now.
That's what I heard.
No, I don't know
That's what I saw on
Nah.
TikTok. So,
Nah.
well, why else would they trade away Luka?
Tell you know, some of these TikTok takes they just people talking.
I just watched a TikTok on a dog. Anyway, there was a dog on like a little robo vacuum. Why would they trade away Luka? What is the reason for trading away Luka besides the fact that he might be a little overweight? That's what they're saying now.
Well, no, he was exposed in the finals last year or last season, I should say, because he did not. No, he got exposed. He wasn't playing defense. He was very whiny, and it wasn't a good look. So that's, I think, more along the lines of the out of shape and not focused comments. And then also by not keeping him, they saved a lot of money. Luka was due for a pay raise.
But he's their star.
I understand. But you're also trading for a future Hall of Famer and Anthony Davis, who has won a championship. I know I don't count the bubble ring, but it is what it is. He is a champion, and he is an all-star center. Why? So I understand you're getting rid of Luka, your franchise player, but if you're in win now mode, and this is why I said Dallas won the trade. I should rephrase that to say for now. If you're in win now mode, you want to have a set, like you're essentially running it back with the same squad minus Luka. So you have a center who can score. So you have a mobile center who could score. And then you have other big men that you could surround him by. You got Kyrie at the helm. So you got a scoring guard. You have power forwards who are big. Who's going to get in the paint on that squad? They're very lanky.
I don't know. I understand what you're saying. I just feel like it was dumb to trade away your franchise player.
Well, if you look at it too, with the Lakers, now you have two ball handlers. Luka always needs the ball in his hand. LeBron always needs the ball in his hand. How are you going to work that? I think that the Lakers are trying to phase out LeBron because they know he's on his way out, and they're trying to have Luka be the centerpiece and build around Luka.
I understand that, but for Dallas, they're just hoping to draft another player to be their franchise player. Is that their hopes and dreams?
No, they're trying to win now. What they're doing, huh?
And then what happens?
They get a championship. They said we went to the finals last year. All we need is a missing piece who's more focused, and we could do it again.
But what about
Dallas is in the mix. Dallas is going to be in the mix.
What about
remember
the team?
You said what? The future? They're not thinking about the future. They're thinking about now. They're thinking about now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I think it's dumb. You have to think about the future of the team as well.
If you can win now, you take it. So I know we're going to switch over. Matter of fact, we can use this as a segue to go into serve. It's like the Indiana Fever. The Indiana Fever are in win now mode. They spent years building. They have a franchise player in Caitlin Clark, yes, but they're also saying push all the chips. They got Dewana Bonner. Dewana Bonner is about to be 38 this year, I think. She's 37. I think she's 37 going on 38. So she's going to be on her way out, but they got her because they're like, we want to win now. Natasha Howard, Sydney Colson is, I think, like 36. She's a little older too. And so you have older people who are veterans in the game, but you're like, we want to win now, and we feel like this is our opportunity. So it's not quite like, Sydney's going to be 36 this year. So it's not quite like the Dallas Mavericks situation, but when you want to win now, you win now.
So who is scoring on the Mavericks?
Kyrie. And then Pete.
Also old.
I understand, but he's still balling. And the thing is, Dallas has done well and they beat OKC, who I think is a top seed in the West right now. They beat them without Luka this year. So I'm saying that they can still operate without Luka. Dallas, all they gave up Markieff Morris, they gave up another forward, and they gave up Luka, right? They got Anthony Davis, and they got a defending forward in Max Christie. I think Max Christie the forward. So you got better on defense. So you strengthen your defense, and you get a all-time power forward / center in Anthony Davis, a future Hall of Famer.
I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up Max Christie's. So he's listed as a guard. Okay, 6'5". He's a guard. So you have a scoring guard. And the thing is, people are saying like, oh, you got rid of your franchise player. Like, you didn't get rid of your franchise player for no one. You know, like,
got rid of the franchise player.
I understand Anthony Davis is the leading scorer for the Lakers, though. He was before he went out. So it's not like you got to scrub.
Anthony Davis always out.
Yeah, I mean, he's hurt now, but so is Luka.
Always hurt.
I mean, he wasn't hurt last year. He was hurt, but not hurt for long.
He was hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was a dumb move. I don't think you get rid of your franchise player.
I don't think they saw a future with him. So obviously the organization saw something that we're not seeing.
I don't
and
think
that's
so.
why. You don't think so?
No, I don't think because I don't think who's running the organization. They said the people that's running it owns casinos.
Who said it? TikTok?
Yeah. Google it.
Who's the owner? What's the owner name?
I have no idea, but they said it's a couple and they own casinos.
Let's see.
And they were heavily involved in the trade, allegedly.
Allegedly.
You know who wasn't involved in that trade? Mark Cuban.
It said Mark Cuban sold his controlling stake to Al Adelson. Yeah, allowing a team to build a new resort and casino area.
Didn't I tell you that? Didn't I told you. See, you said TikTok wasn't to be trusted, but I did the research. I told you those people own casinos and they want a casino in Dallas. And so the word on the street allegedly is that they sold Luka to force the hand of the Texas legislature to give them the rights to a casino because now they're trying to tank the team. Allegedly.
Allegedly. I don't think so. I think they're in win now mode.
Casino though.
I think they're in win now mode. But the owners they might have somewhat of a say, but I think it's the president and the general manager. Those are the ones that make the big decisions.
And they in the pockets of the casino owners.
Anyway, moving on to WNBA news. So I told you about the Indiana Fever, and I was saying how they made all these major trades. There's been some misconception online, I believe, that people think that these players are coming to Indiana because they got big names. Juana Bonner ain't a small fish. Sydney Colson ain't a small fish. Natasha Howard ain't a small fish, right? All these three signed there. And then you have the trades. So those who signed there, people think that they're going there because they want to play with Caitlin Clark and they see the potential to win a championship. I said no. And I have a video coming out where I'm going to push back against this. The reason why they came there is because Stephanie White is there. Stephanie White used to be the coach of our squad, the Connecticut Sun. And she is an Indiana native. She's from that area. And so she had coached the Indiana Fever before in the past. And I think she had called Caitlin Clark's like Iowa games. So she's in the area. And so she has a good reputation, and she is a very good coach. Defensive minded, has pushed the Connecticut Sun to the limit in the past with her past squad. She only coached there for 2 years, but she did a great job. I think she got coach of the year her first year. And I believe that the players want to play under her. I don't think they came there for Caitlin. And I know darn well they didn't come there for the Indiana fans because they are racist. So a lot of them are racist. I'm not going to speak for all, but a lot of them. So a lot of people believe they just want to play with Caitlin and Caitlin's going to make them so much better. I'm like, first off, these people have championships already. Each one of those players I named you that were free agents that signed there, they all have won a championship, at least one. Natasha Howard has one. Juana Bonner has, I think, 2, and Sydney Colson has 2. What are your thoughts?
I don't think they're going there for Caitlin. I don't think anyone's probably moving around places for Caitlin. I think they probably, well, I was going to say they got paid, but they don't get paid in the WNBA, unfortunately. I think they probably are going there for the coaching and want to win another championship on a different team. And I think that they all go together under the coach. They feel that could be done.
Right. I feel type of way about this though, because the Indiana fandom are filled with a bunch of new fans and they just want to win. And they make like they're such experts on WNBA and all the different players. You haven't been following it. You don't know these players, how much work
Right.
they've put in. And it's annoying to me that and it seems the media has joined in on this too. It's just such a concerted effort to get Caitlin a ring. She has never won at any level. She hasn't won in high school. She didn't win in college. And now the WNBA, now everyone's trying to get her to win. And I believe it's part of this hero's journey. The hero's journey, and I'm going to explain it in a video, but I'll give a quick synopsis now, is that she became the hero once she lost to LSU, and the big bad Angel Reese and you can add on to that other Black woman stopped her from attaining her goal. So that's when she started that hero's journey, and now the journey is to get her a championship. And then once she gets the championship, then she will have lived happily ever after. I believe that is the hero's journey that she's on. And that's why everyone is so focused on her getting a ring.
Sure, but like she just got to the league. Why did she didn't like necessarily deserve a ring immediately?
Well, people believe she does because they're like, she brought so much attention to the sport and the league and all these ticket sales and blah, blah, blah. I keep trying to tell people online, the WNBA was already growing prior to her entering. The
Liberty
season,
games are facts.
yes, they were. The season before, the Aces games were sold out, the Liberty games were sold out already. So she might have brought more attention, but all this attention is because people want to see her win. And they think she's such an amazing player, not knowing that there are other talented players in the league, other better players than her in the league.
Right.
She's not the best. Even her rookie year, people were trying to say, oh, she has the best rookie year of all time. I'm like, no, she doesn't. Candace Parker had the best rookie year of all time because she also won MVP during her rookie year.
Right.
So I'm like, you're not comparing with Candace Parker. Here on Sports Talk with AVIOT, we take a break from mainstream media and pop culture to talk about sports. If you're liking what you're hearing, make sure to leave a rating and a review so we can grow our platform. Sports Talk with AVIOT is affiliated with the AVIOT podcast, the official podcast of Chemistry Productions. I know that when we get in this subject, we talk a lot about her in general, but I think you have to provide context in terms of the league was already popping. It's just that they didn't have enough notoriety because it's largely gay and it's largely a Black, or I should say queer, and you have a lot of Black women that are dominating. Most of the dominant players in the league are Black women, and they occupy two spaces that often get overlooked in society. Now you have a straight white woman, because even Diana Taurasi was dominant, but she didn't get all that praise because she is a gay woman, right? Even if she's white. Right. Yeah, you have a allegedly straight woman. I'm gonna say allegedly because there are some theories out there, but I'm not gonna put any fuel into that fire. You have a straight white woman that comes in the league from the middle of America, where all the conservatives are. She becomes your hero because she represents what you feel America needs to look like. And so she needs to beat down these big, bad Black women. She needs to beat down on these queer women who don't have good Christian values. And so that's why people raise her up to a certain standard. But don't get it twisted. She's not the best player. She has a ways to go. And if she happens to win a championship now, especially with the loaded roster, it's going to be because of her team. It's not going to be because of her.
Right.
So moving on from that, there were some other big trades too. So you had,
Jimmy Butler.
Yes, in the NBA, Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors. I think that is a horrible trade because I don't think he's going to fit that culture at all. Your thoughts?
I didn't even see it. I saw it like 2 days late. They said I said, what did Jimmy Butler do now? They said, oh, that news didn't even come across my timeline, truthfully, at all.
Yeah,
Luka was everywhere. You couldn't escape the Luka trade. The Jimmy Butler trade, I feel like, was more on the low.
Because Jimmy Butler got on Miami's nerves, and he was getting on a lot of people's nerves with his antics. So I think that kind of fell under the radar. I mean, it's still a big move, but I don't think it moves the needle as much as Luka and Anthony Davis.
Right.
You also had Satu Sabli going to the Phoenix Mercury. So she's going to be pairing with Alyssa Thomas, who was traded to the Phoenix Mercury. So yeah, Satu Sabli, Alyssa Thomas, Kalia Copper. They have, why do I always forget her name? Oh my goodness. She played on Dallas. She was one of the centers there. You're not going to know her name.
No.
Every time I forget her name. I don't know why. Because Tierra McCowan was the one center, and then the other center. So you had that. You also had the Atlanta Dream. You know, Brittany Griner went to the Atlanta Dream?
Yeah.
So that was that. Kaylani Brown, that's her name. Kaylani Brown. She's the center that went to the Phoenix Mercury. So now they have a center. They have a 6'6/6'7" center. So she's still tall. She's mobile. She can shoot. And I'm glad she's going to be able to have her chance at being a starter. Paired with Alyssa Thomas, Kalia Copper, Satu Sabli. That's a lot of offense. And decent defense because you got Alyssa Thomas, who's going to be the head of the snake. So Brittany Griner going to Atlanta, I think that's a pretty good move because now you got a crazy inside-outside game. You know, the Connecticut Sun, we've been just disbanded. We lost our whole starting lineup.
I mean, maybe you'll rebuild.
We have to. We're going to be trashed this year. And that's no shade to the players.
Then we'll rebuild in like another 2 years, and then you'll be good again.
I just need us to get at least one chip. Like, come on, man. I've been riding for my squad. Obviously, we from Connecticut.
They haven't won yet?
They've never won a championship. No.
They've been in the finals many times.
Not many. No.
Twice. Once.
We lose.
Well,
the one time I was really excited when we went to the finals was when we played the Aces. And though I love Asia Wilson, love me some Asia Wilson, I was rooting against the Aces.
That was 2 years ago, right?
No. This is back in 2022. No. Yeah, 2022.
Yeah, so 2 years ago.
2022?
Okay.
We're in 2025.
Barely.
Yeah, the Aces' first championship came at the hands of the Connecticut Sun, and Jonquel Jones was actually on Connecticut then too. That's why I couldn't stand Jonquel for a little bit, because when she wanted to get traded from Connecticut, ended up with New York. She was my enemy for a while.
She didn't have to go that far though. I guess she kind of did though, because the Suns plays real far.
Yeah. So there's that. Yeah, we're gonna be trash, but it's okay. We will rise again. And speaking of, I remember you were talking about like trades and how people will be finding out. Natasha Cloud, I really feel bad for her because she was online talking about how she would run through a wall for the Phoenix Mercury, and how much she loved the organization. They had such great training facilities. They traded her. She found out on social media. They traded her to Connecticut.
They're really cutthroat with these trades. Like, you can at least get somebody a heads up, like a tap on the shoulder or something. Why am I finding out with the rest of the world?
Yeah, she was hurt. She did. They asked her about it on Arrival today. She was hurt. She was really hurt. She said that just goes to show you the business of the game and how they are.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I felt so bad. Yeah. But we're going to have Natasha Cloud. So Natasha Cloud actually won a championship against Connecticut. See, all of this pain that I have to suffer. Natasha Cloud won a championship with the Washington Mystics against Connecticut. I think it was back in 20. When did I start work? It has to be either 2018 or 2019. I'm thinking about 2019. Let's see. Washington Mystics championship. Yep, 2019. They won it against Connecticut. I was so hurt. I thought that year.
They've made it to the finals. They just haven't won anything.
Tay, it don't matter. Almost doesn't count, okay? I'm tired of us coming up short. One of these years, I may be in my 60s or 70s, but guess what? I'm going to have my orange on, if it's still in Connecticut, then. Please don't move to Boston. Please, Connecticut. Please, build a good practice facility. Could you please do that? Because they shouldn't be having the practice in the darn the YMCA with people celebrating a birthday on the other side of the court.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't have a practice. They could practice at a high school gym. Like they
Y'all
should.
got y'all got money,
I
man.
don't think
Y'all
they have money.
they linked up with the Native American. Native American can't spend spare $1 or two.
Well, the name that's a different country. Sovereign land.
You think I wouldn't know that?
Just saying. I don't think
Do you know my past job?
I don't think the natives are giving them money.
Shaking my head. I have some pride. Like, change the name of Connecticut to something else. Well, I don't know if the name Sun has. I don't even know if Connecticut Sun has anything to do with the natives, because you see some of their jerseys, they be having like tribal symbols on them. So
I think so. I think it's like they play at Mohegan Sun,
right,
Connecticut Sun. I don't know.
yeah. I just need us to do something, okay? Because I would love to be an old man cheering for my squad. Shoot, I'll be at the game. I'll be like, yay, we
Everybody
finally won. Huh?
Oh, it's a great feeling when your team finally wins after a long time.
Yeah, we're hoping your team wins. I know we said we weren't going to talk about it, but
Not talking about it.
yes.
Go Birds.
Yes. So let's get in a ball game. Finish this out. I know I had said before the show that we were going to talk a little bit about Lamar Jackson and how he was snubbed from his MVP award.
I'm not shocked.
I'm not either. Do you think that this lights a fire in his belly and he comes back next year and just destroys the league?
Well, the thing is, the MVP is determined before the playoffs. So they, like, whatever happened between the Bills and the Ravens that didn't go into the MVP vote. I think they didn't want to give it to Lamar again because Lamar has already won twice. He won last year. Even though his stats were amazing, I think they wanted to give it to Josh Allen. And Josh Allen's stats were close enough to Lamar that they could justify giving it to Josh Allen over Lamar, even though he doesn't deserve it.
You know what that sounds like to me?
What?
DEI.
That sounds like DEI. They want to give
like
that. They think Josh Allen the strongest quarterback to ever live. They said he's so strong. He could run so fast. He could move buildings. The way they talk about Josh Allen is crazy.
DEI, man. Y'all talking about DEI. That's DEI right there.
It's undeserved. But no, he did not deserve MVP. I don't think most people believe he deserved MVP.
Mm-mm.
Honestly, the race should have been between Saquon and Lamar, if we're really being honest. But the MVP award is a quarterback award. So they're going to give it to a quarterback. And so they gave it to Josh Allen. They've been wanting to give it to Josh Allen. That's who they want to win a championship.
Well, guess what?
They want Josh Allen to win a championship.
Guess what? A black man is going to win once again. I know we say Kermit the Frog ain't black, but he is. Kermit the Frog is black, okay?
They want Josh Allen to win a championship so bad.
Yeah, because they need to restore that pride, the good old boy pride. They need to restore that back in the NFL.
And poor Joe Burrow can't make it nowhere. So they don't give up on him.
The best thing Patrick Mahomes' daddy said, smoking all that Joe Burrow.
Poor Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, he decent though.
Oh my goodness. But
poor Joe Burrow got no team around him. His people can't catch. That's why. Anyway.
I'm hoping his lights a fire under Lamar Jackson. He just comes back and just destroys everything.
Think it's Lamar. I think we gotta stop. Like, Lamar's shortcoming. It's not Lamar. It's the team. The team is letting him down. He's doing what he can.
Yeah, I know.
He can't do everything.
I'm tired of them saying he's a choke artist because he doesn't choke. He shows up. It's just the team doesn't.
I don't think they said that this time around. I think
they did. You didn't see the memes.
No, but I think like sports commentating, for all of its faults, recognized this time around that the Ravens lost as a team. They didn't lose because of Lamar Jackson. The team failed. Lamar.
Yeah, because he was making a drive back. If homeboy catches the ball,
they win.
They good. Yeah. So it is what it is. One day, hopefully we can see Lamar Jackson holding up.
He's the one that deserves the Super Bowl.
He does. He does.
Of course. But then Lamar.
At least one thing you can say, Tay, at least you saw one Eagles win in your lifetime.
And that's why it was so incredible, because who thought it was going to happen?
Yeah, with Nick Foles.
Exactly. That playoff run,
That's something of legends.
that was special.
That's something of legends.
We
Yes.
won the Super Bowl with a backup quarterback.
Crazy. And now where is Nick Foles? Nowhere to be found.
He retired.
Yeah, that's what I said. Nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
He got his ring. Hey, he got his ring, his legendary season. They probably gonna make documentaries on that one.
He retired. Yeah, that was a great season.
Yeah. Feel happy for them. Last thing to say in terms of future things. So the Chicago Sky, they finally got rid of, sorry, I don't mean to say it that way. They traded away Dana Evans. I know you've seen some games. She's the point guard / shooting guard who couldn't throw passes to Camilla in the post. I know you've seen the videos where she's throwing the ball and it's just hitting the back of the rim, and Camilla just looking defeated because she couldn't catch it. So they traded her to the Las Vegas Aces for 2 second-round draft picks. So now the Chicago Sky have 2 first-round draft picks, number 3 and number 10, I believe. And then they have 2 second-round draft picks. So it seems like they're trying to build their young core because they're working towards the future. So I want to know, do you see Chicago with how they're moving? Do you see them making noise in the future? If they can keep their young core together, they got to keep Angel and Camilla together and then build around them. Do you think they could actually make noise in the future? They have a new training facility that they're building. It should be coming in 2026. And then they're taking it from there.
Probably. I think what's exciting about the WNBA is it's wide open all the time. Like I don't think any one team, like the Aces obviously are amazing, but I don't think any one team is especially more like dominant in terms of like having a dynasty versus the other. So I think that's what makes the WNBA exciting. So to answer your question, yes. But I think it can be any team. Like I think any team could win the following year if they build correctly. And I think that's what makes it great.
Yeah, I believe Indiana is probably going to win this year. If I had to pick a team that I wanted to win out of the field, it'd be Minnesota, because I feel that they were cheated this past season, and I feel Nafisa Collier is going to be on a mission. And so the only problem is I don't think they really did well in free agency and stuff, and they lost Maisha Hines-Allen, so that's another big that was underutilized. So I think Seattle could be doing some work. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, you're right. This season is definitely going to be wide open.
Yeah, I think most of them are. But sports can change from year to year.
That's very true. All right, Tay. Well, listen, I wish you the best. Hopefully our next show, we celebrating.
Okay, let's not speak too soon. But yes, let's hopefully. I'm going to go be with my flock this weekend.
All right. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Go Birds.
All right, Tay.
This is Sports Talk with AVIOT. Please follow this podcast for more future content. Thank you.